my God, he's on my foot. He's so heavy.
Oh my God.
He's got my croc. Cheers, mate. Good morning and welcome back to the paradise that is the African island nation of the Seychelles. We have just spent 2 days on the main island of Mahe, enjoying some local rum, beach hopping and trying the local cuisine. But we are now about to embark on a 7-day cruise around a few of the 155 islands that make up the Seychelles with our friends from Variety Cruises. And this will be our 3rd cruise with them. We have previously cruised around the Cyclades Islands in Greece and around the islands of Cape Verde. Honestly, I cannot wait. We are going to go to some islands inhabited by the world's largest tortoise. We are going to go to the #1 beach in the entire world, and we are going to be pulling up to tiny little islands for swim stops. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of say brew consumed, but before that we still have a few hours until we need to check into our mega yacht, check us out, and we still have our trusty little rental car. So we are going to go and check out the northern peninsula of Mahe that we haven't yet seen. And this van, this lorry, it still won't move from my blooming balcony. So this is the island of Mahe. This is where we're staying, Beauvalon. That is the capital, Victoria. We have already explored all the way around here, but we need to see this little northern peninsula.
Just a 10-minute drive north from Beauvalon, you have Glacis Beach. Now, we actually found this just by looking on the map, zooming in, and we've got it all to ourselves. I feel like this is a little hidden gem. Look at this. The sun's not out right now, but you can still see a very beautiful blue sea. And, of course, are you going to get bored of these giant granite rocks? I don't think so.
The drive getting up to the north of Mahe was spectacular, going along the beach road, and I think outside of really 3 or 4 of the main beach towns, you come to these little beaches and you get them completely to yourself. The water, again, in the Seychelles, it is the perfect temperature, and I think we're going to probably, there's a little restaurant next door, get some lunch, go for a swim before we have to jump on board and follow in the footsteps of pirates buried their treasure on these islands. Welcome to the Seychelles.
We didn't actually realise that the beaches in the Seychelles are actually public, so that means you can walk through hotels and use their beaches. The restaurant we're going to go to is actually part of the Bliss Hotel, so we've just stumbled through and found another beautiful, beautiful beach.
Cheers.
Cheers. We've gone for an iced coffee in the Rock Pool Bar, and it's actually so stunning. Check out our view. They have a really good menu as well.
Normally a spot like this would require an ice cold say brew, but on the menu they have this, the Seychelles battered fish, cooked in deep fried signature say brew batter, and the fish here in the Seychelles.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you very much. Oh, that looks great.
Wow.
Thank you. This is job fish?
Yeah, exactly.
From Seychelles?
Yeah, from the sea.
Perfect.
Yeah, all the fish items, they are from the sea. Every day we buy from the fishermen.
Ah.
So
Cannot get any fresher than this. The freshest.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much.
I've had curry almost every day here in the Seychelles. Today is no different. I've got a Creole curry with seasonal vegetables. Basically, it's masala, it's coconut, and it comes with rice. Oh, good.
And I think so far I've had some sort of fish every day. Fish and chips, you wouldn't have thought it was a staple here in the Seychelles, would you? But I suppose that British influence is coming through. And this, the job fish. Oh. Honestly, you cannot get any fresher. I seriously do not think I have tasted fresher seafood than here in the Seychelles, and that is coming from someone that doesn't really enjoy seafood. That whole lunch came to about 45 English pounds. On the Seychelles, for an average meal, you're looking at about $20 to $25 for a main, but as you can see, we have changed into something a little bit smarter. We have driven back to Mahe, dropped off our rental car, and made it down to Inter-Island Quay, the main port on Mahe and the jump-off point to the rest of the islands of the Seychelles. And this is going to be our home for the next 7 days.
I am so excited. Behind me is the Pegasus, our mega yacht. Can't believe we're going to be on a mega yacht going around the Seychelles. How cool. This is also the port where you can come and get the local ferries that take you between 1 or 2 of the islands. But for us, we are travelling in style, and I really cannot wait. How are you?
Hello.
Yes, please, thank you.
Just here? Thank you very much.
How are you?
Hello. Thank you.
Honestly, travel is amazing, but those long days and early flights are really leaving us drained.
Well, Molly, that is why we've been starting every morning with AG1.
AG1 is a daily health drink with over 70 vitamins, minerals and other ingredients. We have noticed a massive difference in our energy and stress levels. AG1 actually supports energy levels and helps reduce tiredness and fatigue. It also uses magnesium and folate to help with stress resilience. AG1 gives us a steady, natural energy throughout the day, no caffeine crash. Thanks to vitamins B6, B12, vitamin C and magnesium, we feel sharper, less tired and ready to get out and explore without running on fumes.
Since I started AG1, I've noticed that I don't crash in the afternoons anymore. My digestion has got so much better and I just feel so much more balanced, which is huge since we travel full time.
And with the highest quality standards in sourcing and testing, we know every scoop is safe and effective. So if you want to give it a try, click our link or scan the QR code to get 5 travel packs, vitamin D3 and K2 bottle, and the welcome kit that's worth £68 free with your first subscription.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome on board.
Woohoo. Welcome aboard. That honestly had to be the quickest check-in process and the quickest sail away we have ever had. We're already heading to our first stop, but we've had a safety drill and we were given a welcome chocolate ice cream, which we've never had before. I'm going to give you a very quick room tour before we stop. So this is the category A double bed. Also never had a double bed.
It is our first time.
It's our first time
first
on Boutique
variety
Cruise.
double bed.
I'm so excited for this. It looks super comfy. So, double bed, so much space, storage. You even have a mini bar. You have sofa with more storage there. You have a TV, so you can watch films. We've been given welcome. I think that might be breadfruit, dried breadfruit, which is a really nice touch. We have our shower room and toilet, and you have 2 massive windows so you can watch the islands of the Seychelles pass you by.
We have literally been on board less than an hour. We have checked in, we have set sail, and we have made it to our first swim stop of the week, St. Anne Island. Look at this place. Unbelievable. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go! Oh, so good. Checked in, sailed away, had our ice cream, the music's blaring. It doesn't get much better than this.
Can we please have 2 Seychelles? Seychelles, yes. The 2 finest Seychelles beers, please. Yeah.
Your coldest, finest and coldest.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much. I think you're going to be our best friend this week.
Yeah.
The man with the beer is always the best man.
The swim stop was really, really refreshing. However, there was a lot of sea life, so it was a little bit uncomfortable, but we are now sailing to our destination for anchor for this evening, and it's going to be actually the longest period that we're sailing, around 3 hours, and it's actually the perfect time to give you a very short tour of our mega yacht. Obviously, you've seen the bar for our €6 sea brew. You have a seating area, really gorgeous seats everywhere. You have a library, always have cookies, cake.
Oh, these cookies are unbelievable. I've already had 4. I've had 4 already.
They're like a mixture of shortbread and digestive. Delicious. And something, the boat's rocking. Don't come knocking. It's a little bit rough at the minute. This is always a little bit wavy when you have trade winds in this part of the Seychelles, so don't be alarmed. We do have a cappuccino machine. I love this. We love a cappuccino, and it's so much nicer than having just packet coffee when you're on board. And then you have an indoor dining area.
I think this is where we'll have dinner.
They have a TV and a PlayStation on board, which is pretty crazy, and they also have free Wi-Fi in these areas, which is super, super handy.
This is hard work, trying to drink a beer while the boat rocks, while trying to do a tour. But as you come outside, you are greeted with the outdoor dining area. So as you can see, the sun is starting to shine.
This is beautiful, isn't it? You can come and sit out here, have your sea brew, watch the world pass you by. It's actually not as rough. It's better out here than it is in there. Other than the bar, this is going to be our favourite place, the top deck, where you have your sun loungers, your seating area, and you do actually have an outdoor bar there as well.
Cheers, this is the life. Ice cold sea brew in hand, and we've got around a 2-hour sail left to where we're going to be at port for tonight, and where we will have our first dinner on board. It's nice, that's the end of the tour. It's a pretty small boat, yacht, ship, whatever you want to call it, and there are only 15 other people on board, so it's a nice intimate setting. Good morning and welcome to Curieuse Island. So last night we had our first dinner on board and we were shown the local catch of the day, which was in fact the job fish, the fish that I have been eating here in the Seychelles. And now I'm not so sure because it looks pretty scary. And of course we enjoyed a couple more sea brew beer before arriving at our destination. We are just about to have breakfast. I've grabbed my cappuccino and we are going to take a Zodiac across the water to Curieuse Island, home to the world's oldest living tortoises. Thank you.
One, two, three. If you're happy and you know, you clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, you clap your hands.
And welcome to Curieuse Island. This morning we've had our cappuccinos, we've had our bacon and eggs, and then we jumped on our Zodiac to turn up onto the island and be greeted by these absolutely amazing creatures. I actually feel like I've just pulled up on a castaway island. This is unreal.
I have never seen a tortoise on a beach before, but welcome to the Seychelles. Apparently there are more of these than humans on the islands, and they can weigh up to 300 kilograms and live to over 200 years old. the Aldebra tortoise, prehistoric. We're surrounded by a paradise beach, the granite rocks, but who blooming cares, because these, they're incredible.
There's actually over 500 of these tortoises on Curieuse Island, and actually they're quite fast. I'm having to speed up to go next to them, but this is actually a marine park, so they're basically conserving the tortoises.
Hello.
Look at them, monitoring their birth rates and just ensuring that they're all healthy, and they continue to grow. This one's super interested, look.
Hello. Hello, mate.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
Forget the beaches, this is already the highlight of my trip. Oh my god, he's on my foot. He's so heavy.
Oh my god.
He's got my croc. He's taken my croc. He's so heavy. 200 kilos just stepped on my foot. There you go. Can I have it back?
No, you have to
He's
wait.
taken it. He's taken my croc. Look at them. Can I have it back, please? Yeah, forget the beaches in the Seychelles. The tortoises were always going to be the highlight, especially as we've got a little one back home. Here you go, what's this? Look, hello. There we go. Oh, is that nice?
I was so obsessed with the tortoises that I didn't even take a minute to look at this beach and take in these jaggedy rocks, this crystal clear water. Honestly, the Seychelles beaches are absolutely unreal. However, when you pull up at an island and there's just free roaming giant tortoises, I think that does top it a little bit.
Seriously, I could have spent all day there just chilling out with the tortoises on the beach, feeding them. We even saw the nursery where they've got the baby tortoises, but now we are actually doing a hike across the island, which is included in the trip. It's one of the excursions that we are going to do, and I think it's about 45 to an hour's walk across the 5th largest island in the Seychelles, Curieuse Island. This was actually named after the French vessel that arrived here in the Seychelles around the 18th century. I don't think the tortoises could do this hike. So back in the day, them pesky Brits, they used to export the tortoise meat. So what they did to stop them escaping is they built this wall right along the coast, because apparently these tortoises can float for up to 24 hours and can sometimes float like 300-400 miles away to a completely different island. So this was built to stop them leaving, but in 2004 when the tsunami hit, it was destroyed. And now from up here on one of the many granite rocks, you get unobstructed views of this paradise. Cheers.
Cheers, this is well deserved. After about an hour's hike, it was actually lovely. We passed through a leper colony, which I didn't really like because I don't want to catch it.
You have the old doctor's house.
Yeah. You've got the old doctor's house, and you do actually have the ruins of the houses where the people that had leprosy stayed when they had to be quarantined. And now we're having a barbecue on the beach. We've got beef, we've got, I think this is pork or beef patties, we've got chicken, and we've got all our salads, and of course, we have a nice cold savoury. Cheers.
Thank you. What?
Vanilla mango.
Mango, please. Thank you so much.
Terima kasih.
That was so good. I felt like I was on below deck, getting a private beach barbecue. We even got some ice cream to finish, and we now have the rest of the afternoon just enjoy the beach here on Curieuse Island, which is nice. We're not going to too many islands in one day, so you get to appreciate it fully. It is a little bit windy at the moment and a bit overcast, but even still, so nice to cool down after seeing the tortoises, doing our hike and eating our lunch. What a place. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Day number 3 on board. Good morning. So last night we spent the rest of the afternoon at the beach and then returned to the boat before sailing into a tiny little bay where we did some wine tasting. Cheers.
Cheers. I know absolutely nothing about wine and I'm not going to pretend that I do, but we are having a South African white wine to try first. I don't know what you're supposed to do, but it tastes nice.
Buddy the barman, he is a legend. South African red. It's a wine. And enjoyed another delicious dinner on board and got up bright this morning and had a morning swim in the most stunning bay. But today we are actually heading to this island right behind me, Cousin Island, which is also known as Bird Island because it is a bird sanctuary here in the Seychelles, but it's also famous for its other name, Mosquito Island. Wish us luck.
And welcome to Cousin Island. We've already had a bit of an adventure this morning. From our boat we jumped onto our Zodiac, and then from our Zodiac we changed into a fiberglass boat that took us full speed onto the beach.
That was some landing.
It was pretty impressive, pretty scary at the same time, but this island is home to a lot of blooming birds, some beautiful ones. It's also home to over 100 tortoises and even some super cute 2-week-old baby tortoises.
We've got about an hour's walk through the island with one of the rangers that live here, and the island has actually been a special nature reserve since 1975, the first island to become one in the Indian Ocean, and that is why they pick you up in their own fiberglass boat, because they don't want new species of animals introduced to this island, like rats. Apparently rats wreak havoc. They eat all of the tortoises' eggs, they eat some of the birds, and they want to keep it the way it is as this bird and tortoise sanctuary.
The birds are pretty cool, but there's one thing I will never get bored of, seeing these amazing creatures. This one here has got a number, like 1421 or something, and he's around 80 years old. They're super friendly and they're just chilling here. I just cannot imagine being one of these rangers, living on this island, and these being your companions. So cool.
See, I never thought that I would find birds interesting, but at Cousin Island they were. The fact that they have a few species that are endemic to that tiny little island was incredibly unique. But we went back to the boat, enjoyed our lunch, and unfortunately we've just been dropped off at one of the best beaches in all of the Seychelles, Anse Lazio, and there is a little bit of a storm going on. The waves are huge, it is raining, the wind is probably like 30-40 miles an hour, but they have a few little beach bars with ice cold sea brew on tap, and we're very lucky because next week we come here for 4 days. Cheers to a wet beer.
Cheers. It's not the most enjoyable pint I've ever had, I must be honest, but Praslin, whatever you want to call it, is actually the second largest island, and I'm not sure how we're going to be able to get back onto the boat with these massive waves. But when it's raining on the beach and you can't really swim or sunbathe, what else is there to do but grab a sea brew?
We are in the middle of pretty much a storm right now. Strong winds, rain, incredibly big waves. And tell me that isn't still the best beach you have ever seen.
Woohoo! What do we have?
Yeah, I want it.
Yeah, I think I'm going.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
What is that giant yellow thing in the sky? The sun is back and the storm seems to have passed. Unfortunately, one of the islands we were meant to be visiting, Aride, we could not go to because of the sea conditions, and there was a bit of an incident that took place on the Zodiac because of how rough the sea was yesterday, but we are not going to let that ruin our time here in paradise. We have been dropped off to Côte d'Or Beach back on the island of Praslin, and we have the next 2 to 3 hours to enjoy this absolute paradise.
Honestly, I think the Seychelles might have the most beautiful flag. I'm not sure what each of the colours actually represent, but you see it everywhere, and I love the fact they're so proud of it. It just looks beautiful on the beach.
So I think we're actually going to be on the island of Praslin for around the next 36 hours. The second largest in the Seychelles and home to around a whopping 6,000 people. And this beach itself, I would say so far, it's probably the most built up we've seen on any of the islands, even more so than Beauvalon. You've got dive centres, bars, restaurants, you can do your water sports. It's got this amazing little island.
So this is St. Pierre Island, which you can do some snorkeling around, and it looks really, really beautiful. It even has a resort on there, because we saw some people taking their luggage on there. That would be really cool to stay at. But I am a little bit disappointed that we had 2 sort of islands cancelled and it's sort of been replaced with a beach that is in the next bay. However, said beach is
Said
absolutely
bay
beautiful.
isn't too bad.
It's not too bad. I'm not being funny. Does a backdrop get any more perfect than that? Hello.
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 How are you?
Good.
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 How much is a coconut?
50 rupees.
Can we have 2?
Yes.
Please.
Thank you very much. They're here from Praslin?
Praslin.
Praslin coconut.
Good though, in this area. Good though.
Amazing.
Look at your bananas.
Banana.
They're
Yeah.
so cute.
All the fruit is local fruit.
Ah, lovely. And what's this?
Star fruit.
Star fruit.
Star fruit, mango. This is a beef heart, papaya, orange,
Wow.
guava.
Guava.
Passion.
You have a real collection.
Local. And I give you another one like this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, it's lovely.
Fresh water.
Mmm. So fresh. Oh, delicious. And yours is orange.
£2.50 a coconut. For the Seychelles, I think that is a bargain. It's actually got a nice little town here in Côte d'Or. Behind the beach it has a lot more restaurants than I thought, and it even has a Leo's food truck. If you want to find the cheapest restaurant in the Seychelles, I would highly recommend it. We checked out their little food truck on Mahe, and you can get a main meal for about 2 to 3 English pounds. Day number 5 on board. These days are absolutely flying by, but what a beautiful beach that was, and we got really the rest of the afternoon to enjoy it. We found the perfect bar to sink a couple of ice cold Say Brew, the perfect session beer, and then we got back on board and sailed in to the Bay of St Anne, the main port on the island of Praslin, and we had a Creole night. Tonight we have a range of Creole cuisine. We have the Creole sausage, we have the Creole rice with the Creole curry, and the eggplant fritters. That are very, very good, but I'm going to try this sausage. That's funny, wrong. It's a bit like a hot dog. It's nice. With dancing, Creole food, and Molly making a fool of herself, but we've got up bright and early this morning and we have headed into the Vallee de Mai, the national park here on the island of Praslin, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site where we will be doing an optional tour that we have opted in for in the forest.
We're just about to start our little forest adventure. We were picked up by Mason's Travel, but you can actually come to the Vallee de Mai and buy your tickets yourself for around £20 per person. But I am currently holding a Coco de Mer nut, which you will only find here in
the world's largest nut.
It's pretty blooming cool. You can't actually eat them now, but before people used to eat them. Apparently they're very sweet. I can't imagine why you would pick that up and think that's good to eat. This is actually the female part of the nut. There's also a male part of it. What do you think that it resembles?
These are actually incredibly heavy. They can weigh up to 40 kilos. This one itself is around 20, and we're actually really lucky because we just spotted a tenric, which is really one of the only mammals that live on the island of Praslin, and it's like a cross between a baby pig and a hedgehog. From the farm, so the nature is crazy, isn't it? The world's largest nut. The tree itself can live up to 250 years. And I feel like there's probably like a little black market. Imagine, for centuries, the locals ate the Coco de Mer, and they're like, no, you can't eat it anymore. So I feel like if you look around the island of Praslin, you'll probably be able to find some black market nut to eat. And also, I feel like you need a helmet to walk around because 20 kilos falling on your head.
This right here is the oldest male tree in the forest. It's over 30 meters tall and supposedly over 200 years old. You're basically supposed to hug it, and they say that you get to live as long or as tall as this.
That was interesting, learning about the world's largest nut. It probably isn't something that we would have done ourselves, so I'm pleased we got to do the tour, and having a guide meant I knew what I was looking at. But after around the last 3 days that we have spent in different bays on the island of Praslin, we are off and we are heading to another island in the archipelago of Felicite, which is actually home to the Sixth Senses Resort. And I think we get the afternoon to pull up, do some snorkeling and sit on their private beach. And we have nearly made it to Felicite Island. Small issue, the Zodiac cannot get to the beach, so we have just changed into our kayak to try and make it to the private beach here. And these waves are huge. They're helicopters going overhead. Molly, please be blooming careful. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to put the GoPro down. Actually, I think we've done it. Careful, careful. The helicopter's taking off. Whoa! Look at this. Quick, 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 quick. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Get your stuff on the beach. Whew. Oh my God, the kayak's taking me out. We've made it. We've made it. Whew. To the most exclusive beach. Ow, that hurt my shin. In all of the Seychelles. So you're not actually allowed into the resort's grounds, but, and a big but, here in the Seychelles, the beaches are not private. So we now have all of this and the six senses to ourselves.
So most of the other guests actually went snorkeling, but once we found out that we had the opportunity to come onto this private island, we literally couldn't say no. I feel kind of cheeky, you know, just rocking up at this
There's
beautiful
security
island.
looking at us. If
They
we
are.
step foot off this beach, they're going to tell us off.
You know, we would never be able to afford to stay here. We wouldn't even be able to afford to eat here.
£3,000 for one night.
But taking a kayak, putting up on their beach and enjoying the view that they get to have whilst watching the sunset, priceless.
This island is crazy. Absolutely insane. Probably the most expensive island in all of the Seychelles, and actually one of the largest. We can see the helicopters every 5-10 minutes take off, bring in new guests, new rich, blooming rich guests to this island. And the rock formations here as the sun starts to set. So cool. Look at that! How rich can you be?
Oh my god, I cannot believe that. I've just seen a second helicopter. So they have 2 helicopters that take these rich people on and off this island, and we have to use a kayak.
Cheers. Well, we made it back.
In one piece, luckily. It was quite the adventure. Getting onto that beach was an absolute breeze. Getting off, not so much. We were just being crashed into by waves, but we have made it on board safely to Pegasus, and we are currently sailing to La Digue, where tomorrow we will be going to the #1 beach in, is it in the world?
Apparently the whole world.
Apparently the whole world. It does look blooming beautiful, but we do have cocktails in hand because we've just had a cocktail masterclass by Buddy. I've made a mojito and now
You're trying a cosmopolitan.
a cosmopolitan, and it's very nice.
All ready for La Digue.
Cheers.
Good morning from La Digue, the Seychelles' 4th largest island and 3rd most populated, with around 2,000 inhabitants. We have just jumped off of the Zodiac and we have pretty much got the entire day to explore this tiny island paradise. We are jumping on a 3 to 4 hour tour, going around pretty much the entirety of the island and heading to the world's #1 beach. Here on the island, the main mode of transport is bicycle, but if you are lucky like us, you get to jump on one of the only vehicles the island has, and this, I believe, is the main town.
There's not a lot going on. It's super cute, it's quaint. As Matt said, it's pretty much vehicle free. There used to be a time you could drive around in an ox cart.
Oh, I'd love an ox to pull us around, and there's all the bikes. You can just pull up, get the ferry here, get your bike and explore.
But we're heading on a wooden truck, which is pretty cool.
Lift up your hands, lovely, thank you so much.
I must admit, it's a little bit strange going around this tiny little island in a wooden truck. I think I would much rather jump on a little bike like this guy, but we are stopping off and having a look at the beaches on this island. Absolutely unreal. This is Anse Source.
Potato Beach.
Potato Beach. I'm not sure why, but I absolutely love the name, and it could be the most stunning beach we've seen so far until this afternoon.
The island is actually only a few kilometers long and a couple wide. There is one school and it is home to one church that we have a few minutes just to go inside. Absolutely stunning. Walking in faith, strengthened by the Spirit, alive in hope.
It's an absolutely huge church, considering there's hardly anyone living on this island. It's absolutely stunning, made out of this wood. is gorgeous. And we have made it to the Union Estate, which is 150 rupees per person to enter. You get a little wristband, and at the end of the estate you'll actually find the beach, which I cannot wait for. But this is actually a coconut and vanilla plantation, still used today. They call the coconut tree the tree of life because they use everything from the roots to the coconuts to the leaves. Today they use them for souvenirs, for oils, to drink, for their houses. And you can see behind me all the coconuts that they're harvesting. There's also tortoises here and one ox.
So Union Estate basically just showcases a little bit of how we used to do things long ago. How we rehearse the coconut, how can we use the coconut, what we do with the coconut itself, how they produce the coconut oil. See, you hit up here because your coconut is down here. If you hit too hard, then you're going to break your coconut.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Really hard forward. Remove it, hit another one. Really hard. Another one.
Well, this is me really hard.
It's crazy to think that this plantation dates back to colonial times, and it was how the majority of the island made their income, and we've seen everything they can do with a coconut, and we now get to drink it. Oh, that's good. It's sweet, so fresh. This is actually a really nice area to walk around and learn about the history of the island. There is even the old colonial house where they recently filmed the Robinson Crusoe movie, and in the 1970s they filmed a French porno called Emmanuel, so I now have something to watch when I get home. And they also have this giant tortoise enclosure, and behind us is actually the largest granite rock in the Seychelles, and I believe it is the second largest rock in all of Africa. And right at the end of the Union Estate is the most famous beach in all of the Seychelles, voted the #1 beach in the world on a few occasions, La Source d'Argent. And this right here is the walkway to get to it.
Okay, you can clearly see why this is the #1 beach. Honestly, this is the photo that they sell of the Seychelles.
This is the brochure.
It's unreal. These rocks, these granite rocks look fake. They kind of look squishy, they look planted. You're moulded into it with these beautiful little bays. You've got a couple of bars along here, but most of it is just finding a space in the shade, putting your towel down and getting out in the water and enjoying this view.
World's #1 beach. I'm not so sure when it's raining. We've been a little bit unlucky this week with the weather. Every time we have arrived at a stunning beach like Anse Lazio, like La Source d'Argent, it started to rain, but still it is almost equally as stunning. You've got 4 or 5 different beaches located in between all of these different rock formations. It's a few little beach shacks and bars. There's now no one around, everyone's left.
What you've got to do is you've got to try and imagine it with the sun out. The sand looks white, the rocks are imposing, the water is super blue. I have to say, the water is still super clear and this like turquoise blue colour. The sand looks beautiful. It's just such a shame because that brochure photo that you see,
we're being teased.
We're not seeing it right now.
The rain, has passed and the sun is starting to peek through the clouds. And now I can probably see why you would say This is the world's #1 beach. All of these tiny little bays separated by these giant granite boulders, and you can actually climb up if you're careful and get unobstructed views of, apparently, it could be, it possibly is, look at it with the palm trees behind, the world's best beach.
It's actually also the world's #1 most photographed beach. Obviously you can see why. So there are some drone wars going on, there's camera wars, there's
oh
selfie
god,
sticks.
the blooming Instagrammers are out.
Yeah.
Go away.
I know, there you go.
There we go. Instagrammers with their drone.
These are those really small drones that make quite a
It's
lot
noisy.
of noise. It is quite
Go
noisy.
away, it's too loud.
However, it's not as busy as I thought it was going to be. I quite like the fact that you can come and find a rock for yourself. You can take a little piece of the beach and generally just relax and enjoy it.
As soon as that sun comes out, it's a different world, honestly. Unfortunately, it's low tide, so I'm walking right out now. We can't really swim today, but we found our own little bay surrounded by the granite rocks. This is the Seychelles. We have gone to every other bar, no say brew, sold out, only you.
That's crazy,
you
right?
know this, you get one.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You have good chance.
Yes, exactly.
That's why the rain stop.
Yeah, rain stop, say brew. Thank you, my friend.
No, as well.
Cheers.
Lovely stuff, thank you. Oh, skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good, yeah? Lovely, cheers, thank you so much. Oh, and it's ice cold.
Enjoy it.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All the little bars here are called Creole. Named after the film that they filmed here. Not the French porno, the actual Robinson Crusoe movie, but we were actually given lunches to have at the beach from Variety. I'm not really hungry. I don't really get hungry when I'm at the beach in the sun, but we've got sandwiches. What else we got? We've got cookies, we've got cake. Turning into a perfect afternoon. See, I think that was a very, very impressive beach. Definitely top 10 in the world. The best? I'm not so sure. We now just have just over an hour until we need to get on board. So we have sourced a couple of bikes to get around the island. It cost us about 10 English pounds for us both to have a bike for that hour. But if you want to have it for a day, it will be around 10 English pounds each, which is a bargain actually. And we're currently going through the capital, the main town, La Paz, which is full of all of these little bars and restaurants. You've got the Black Bull, you've got some shops to buy your souvenirs. Oh, and this is bumpy on my arse. Oh, I wish that we had booked to stay on here for a night or two. When we go to Praslin, I'm sure we're going to come back across, get the local ferry for the day and cycle the entirety of the island, because this is lovely, honestly, apart from the very hard seat on my bum and testicles. But it's painful. You don't know the pain until you've got a pair. No way. Pull up, pull up. There's a roadblock.
Oh my god, what a beach block. Oh my god, what's his name? We found the beach Tortoise. Oh my god. Hello. Hello. Oh, my bike's on. Hello. Oh my god, this is amazing. So basically, there's a couple up here that roam wild. I don't know if somebody owns one of them at the bar. And here he is, just sat on the beach eating pineapple.
That is the coolest thing ever, that you are riding along the road and you need to watch out for giant tortoises. This island just keeps getting better. There is a tortoise at the beach bar, just chilling out. Bikini Bottom Bar, ice cold draft savory, and the mascot tortoise. What was his name?
Papaya.
Papaya. What a place. Cheers, mate. Good morning. It is our final day on board Pegasus, but Le Digue, definitely my favourite island in the Seychelles. Them beaches, the tortoises and the bikes. It's such a laid back atmosphere on there, and by far the most friendly locals we've found so far. We were cycling along, everyone was smiling and waving, but we had to unfortunately get back on board and we've sailed back towards Mahe. Last night we had like a dessert celebration. Honestly, it's so nice traveling because you can relate to people from different parts of the world. So many of the staff on board are from Indonesia and all of them are just amazing. And today we have our final island to explore, Moyenne, which is somewhere out there. I like this. Each day on board, it will tell us where we are, some history about the island, when we're having lunch or we're having dinner. Helps me not forget.
Welcome to Moyenne Island, one of the smallest in the Seychelles. We've actually been greeted by the island security. I'm pretty hungry.
So Moyenne Island was actually bought by a British man, Brendan Grimshaw, in 1962 for a very, very small fee, and he made it his life's work to turn it into a national park, and today it is considered the world's smallest, home to over 100 of these giant tortoises. And he actually lived here up until his death in 2012, and he rejected many bids to buy the island, one of up to $50 million. And today you can come here, you can pay your entrance fee, and you can explore the island. I believe there's about a 45-minute walk all around the ground. It's only about 0.4 kilometers wide and 0.3 kilometers long. So there are two routes to go on the island. You either go left on the path or you go right, and it will lead you all the way around the world's smallest national park. Grimshaw made it his life's work to plant trees on this island, and supposedly in about the 40 years that he resided here, he planted over 16,000 trees. And today, the island, it's alive. Imagine living here. What a life the guy had, just chilling out on his own private island in the Seychelles. It is actually said that there is treasure buried somewhere on the island, and there is a dig site where you can see they attempted to find it but never did. We're currently climbing the clamshell rock that I believe takes you to almost the highest point on this island, and you're gonna get views. Whoa, wow. You can see why he lived here for so long. It's crazy to think that such a small island has so much history. Behind me are the ruins of basically a dog shelter. In 1899, the second owner of the island, Emma, she created a dog shelter here on the island, and she rescued them from fishermen, and at one point there was over 70 dogs that resided here. But behind me is beach number 2. I think there's 3 on the island, and I think this is the best one. Well, this isn't too shabby.
This is lovely. They've done it really well as well. The fact that you can just walk around, you can check out the things that were here, all that layers of history that this tiny little island has is so crazy. And then you come out to Coral Cove, this gorgeous little beach, beautiful sand, rocks imposing on it. The water, you can actually come into the water, you can swim a little bit. I'm getting stones in my crocs, but it's not too bad.
Should have brought a mask. It looks like it'd be really good out there for snorkeling.
It looks like you're just on the edge of a reef here. You've got super clear water and then you can just go over there. We don't have our mask, so I'm just going to paddle. Hey! You got to eat it?
Such a stunning little beach, and it's so nice just walking through the island, bumping into more of the giant tortoises. And there's even a tiny little chapel here and 4 graves. Brendan Grimshaw himself there, his father that he brought to the island in the far corner, and 2 in the middle that are unhappily unknown. Pretty mysterious. Is this not the perfect way to end our time island hopping the Seychelles on Pegasus with Variety Cruises? Moyenne Island, definitely one of my favourites. You need to check out the museum before you leave and learn more about the life and learn about the history of the island. But what a week! Exactly what I was hoping for from the Seychelles. Beautiful beaches, tiny little islands, and a lot of blooming tortoises. Variety really do such great, unique, boutique cruises. They go to destinations that others don't. They cruise where no other ships seem to be, and you get a little slice of paradise to yourself. We've now got the rest of the afternoon to enjoy the beach, go into the Jolly Roger bar, and then do some snorkeling before heading back to Mahe. And then tomorrow, bright and early, we're going to be jumping on the local ferry to the island of Praslin. See you in the next one.